In this video, we'll go through a basic introduction to all of the schedules that are present in the Parallax template. Keep in mind that some of these videos will require you to skip ahead to some of the workflow videos to go over the more intricate workflows that some of these schedules are used for. This is a file that was started from the Parallax template, but has some items populated in the model so that you can see how the schedules themselves are working. To start, in the project browser, we'll scroll down to the middle section called Schedules and Quantities. Keep in mind that if you're working in a later version of 2018 or 2019, you may see the schedules broken up into different groupings. For now, I've gone to the browser organization that's called All so that we can simply look at all of the schedules in a single row. You'll find a schedule at the top that is called Component Finder. If you go into this view, you'll find a very long list of all of the components that are used inside your project. By default, they're separated into Revit category and then Revit family and type, but they do not have every instance itemized. They are also currently sorted by which room they're within, so you may see some duplicate entries for families that are located in different rooms. You can obviously edit this sorting if you just want to see a list of what's placed in the model, or if you want to see where the specific items are, you can leave the sorting more granular at the room levels. In essence, the Component Finder schedule exists simply if you need to track something down that's not showing up in another schedule correctly and you want to find out why. If you scroll to the right of the Component Finder schedule, you will see a series of parameters that are used in the Parallax workflows. The first of these is item type tag, which controls the majority of the tags that are used in the Revit template. In addition, you'll also then find a series of parameters that are called includes. You'll see there is an includes appliances, includes equipment, includes FF&E, includes furnishings, includes plumbing, includes restroom accessories, and includes requires wall blocking. We'll go over what those includes parameters do shortly. In addition, you'll also see 5 parameters called requirements for data, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and security. You may remember from an earlier introduction video about the different views in the Parallax template that there are specific floor plans and ceiling plans where items are color-coded based on which disciplines are required to interact with them. For instance, in the requirements plumbing plan, plumbing fixtures show up as blue. That way we're aware that we need to coordinate those items with the plumbing engineer. Checking the box called requirements plumbing in any component in the model is what activates that blue override in the requirement plumbing view. Using a series of parameters called includes and requirements is nicer specifically for the includes because we no longer have to rely on Revit's categories to create the schedule. For instance, any Revit category can be included in a schedule for appliances by using a parameter called include appliances. That means generic models, specialty equipment, casework families, data devices, mechanical equipment, air terminals. It doesn't actually matter what Revit category it's modeled as. Our schedule that is called architecture appliances will simply be looking for is the include appliances box checked in the component. If it's not checked, you can come to the Component Finder and check that box. You'll also discover, if you go looking through the Parallax template, that those parameters are also included as project parameters in the template. This means that if you download content from a third party or from a manufacturer and it's not Parallax built content, when you load it into the template, these parameter options will still be available so that third-party content can still work with your Parallax team schedules. As we move along to the schedules, the first one we'll look at are the 2 schedules called Restroom Accessories. You'll notice in this sample project that there are a number of restroom accessories already populated in the model, and if we were to go look at a floor plan, you would see that these items are all restroom accessories that are placed inside the bathroom. If we were to grab any one of the restroom accessories to look at its parameters, you would see under Edit Type that it has include in restroom accessories checked right there. As we discussed a minute ago, checking that box is what is making it show up inside the restroom accessory schedule. The series of include parameters is nice because it also means that this item can show up as include in restroom accessories, but also include in wall-mounted accessories and include in potentially requires wall blocking. These checkboxes allow for those things to happen and for us to not have to wait to get the items into the project to have these settings checked. Any content that comes from the Parallax libraries have those boxes checked appropriately while they're stored on your network, so simply loading in the restroom accessories into your project is enough to, for instance, get all of your grab bars to schedule appropriately. One thing you may also notice is that a shared parameter called item type tag is what's used in all the Parallax libraries for their actual tag value instead of the type mark parameter. This is done so that we can have them filled out in the library as well, as type mark is not available when you're in the family editor. Similar to the restroom accessory schedule, the architectural appliances schedule is simply looking for the include appliances button to be checked. There are no appliances loaded in this sample file right now, but the schedule works exactly the same as the restroom accessories. We're going to skip over the door schedules temporarily to move on to architectural equipment. There are no equipment pieces that are loaded in this sample file at the moment, but you'll find that the equipment, the FF&E schedules both work exactly the same in that they have their includes parameters set as the filter, and that is what is driving this schedule as well. Similar to the equipment and the FF&E schedules are the plumbing fixture schedules, which are also reading the includes parameters for is it included in plumbing fixtures, yes or no. This is particularly handy if you're making use of the Parallax plumbing fixture libraries, as things like flush valves and faucets are actually shared and nested within the plumbing fixture families, so that you can schedule the fixtures themselves versus the hardware for those fixtures. The last schedule that is making use of the includes parameters is the wall-mounted / wall blocking requirement schedule, and this simply provides a list of everything using the includes wall blocking or wall-mounted accessory parameter. That way, if you would like to, or if your firm makes use of scheduling wall blocking, you can do that within the schedule as well. The last general schedules that we'll go over in this video are the parking space schedules and the room schedules. The parking space schedule is in play if you have the Parallax library of parking spaces. This is important because the Parallax library of parking spaces are actually generic models. So if you are using parking families that are actual parking families, you'll need to retrofit this schedule. There is also a room schedule in the Parallax template, but it does not include any data about finishes, as we recommend a workflow of modeling those finishes and then tagging and or elevating based on what's in the model. Instead, the room schedule is basically used to provide data on departments and occupancies, square footages, and volumes if calculated. There are a number of schedules that we've left out of the explanation in this video, including the door schedules, the millwork schedules, the note by number schedules, the partition type schedules, and the egress and life safety schedules. These will all be covered in a subsequent set of videos.